Peace to all beings. Mercy. Peace to all beings. Peace to all beings. You're in an expansion of consciousness now, entities. You're basically finding out you're in an experiment that went wrong. In consciousness. You're developing now a sense of identification of who you are. And I'm going to give you a clue. You are all well aware of where your birthday is, the astrological sign. And some of you are aware of the moon sign and the houses that the planets are in, etc., and your ascendant. Very fundamental, actually. 9 months prior to your birth is your true spiritual essence sign. The identification of your true self. Look it up. And when you're honest with yourself, you'll recognize yourself. That's the spiritual divine force that's inhabiting the body now and trying to educate the body with the wisdom it has as a spirit force in the continuity of consciousness and divine self. It gets very technical if you want to talk like that. But 9 months before you were born, physically, as you come out of the uterus, you were involved in the conception of yourself as you entered the egg or as you were the egg to receive the sperm, either one. And you proved your dominance by creating your gender. Male sperm tried to enter the egg accepted the male sperm, but the female entity of the egg dominated the male sperm and she produced a female child. The male sperm enters the egg and it has the dominance, or actually it's not a dominance in that manner because the female allows the conception to take place. And the dominance there is that the wisdom of the egg. The wisdom of the egg. And the thoughts that transpired in the insemination of the sperm and the egg and the acceptance of the egg and the sperm. The conditions met were you. You born yourself, actually. And then you come onto this world, and some beings are trying to change their sexual orientation. You know, you're aware of that. Spiritually, and in many worlds, there are conditions there, not understanding. We could go further, but we don't need to. You're supposed to be intelligent enough to understand these things. The warnings are being written, entities. They're being spoken. They are in your media and news. You're seeing it. What some of you are doing already, you're feeling it. And you don't know how to combat it. It's a restlessness. The only thing that combats it is prayer. Pick one. I suggest the Psalms that were given by David, who has been through this and more that you're going to go through. He's leaving lessons behind. I suggest you pay attention to the teacher of those lessons. It's that simple, but everyone wants to make it difficult. Get a book of Psalms. When you're in question of yourself or what you're doing or what's going on, simply open it. Put your finger to a page and read it. That's simple direction right there. And if you continue reading sentences, you get them further instructions. You'll see what I mean. That's the only armor you have right now, entities. And I'm talking about spiritual armor now, because your true essence is coming forth. And you're going to have to identify with it. You're going to have to identify with it because it's going to have what you call the acceptance and the recognition and the pleasure principle of the brain and the safety of its knowing what it's doing. There's a safety principle in the brain. Safety principle. Panic principle comes out of the thoracic region of your chest, governed by fear and that kind of things, as you beings like to say. So we say peace to all beings and mercy at that point. And cogitate yourself in moments of peace. When you find specific moments of peace and reflecting, be sure of the time. Because time is a direction. Time is a direction. You're in cycles of repetition, but you don't know it. Time is a direction, and a direction is up. Up. You're cycling your spiritual forces up for more recognition, and you can use the forces to bring yourself peace and comfort. Because you're going to need it now. No need to, what do you say, go crazy. Because you see everyone else doing it. You need to understand calmness and peace now, and mercy. So, recommendation, buy a book of Psalms. Utilize it. It is for your protection, the best shields you've got right now. We are through.